Hello everybody, so today you join us in what was one of our second cut fields. This is one that looked like a desert after it had been cut, ryegrass. It's still very brown, but you might just see way in the distance very slight green shoots of recovery. So this is what was the red clover. The red clover died out, but there is still one or two little bits hanging on. Okay, so here's one here. Just coming back, so that always stays green because that has got such a massive taproot on it. It goes way down, finds water, but yeah, so there is one or two still little red clover plants still alive, but the most of them are gone, but that might be what we see partly greening up at the back there. But we have had a few little spots of rain over the last week or so, and there is one or two green shoots of grass coming on this, but not enough to properly see yet. But the purpose of today's video, we are in a drought. We're hoping we're very close to the end of that drought, because today is the 31st of July and we are at the moment in a Met Office yellow warning for thunderstorms. It hasn't thundered yet, but for the rest of the day potentially we could get some reasonable rain, so that's all good news. So I'm filming this video quite a way ahead of it coming out, so hopefully the time this video does come out it will have rained. Anyway, right, the purpose of today's video, we are here today to feed our in-calf heifers. So what we're going to do, we're going to feed these bales, one of these bales. I did actually on a video back in the spring say that these bales would be going home fairly shortly. Luckily they never did, or luckily not all of them did. Some did go back home, but there's still some here. So this is second cut from last summer off of these ryegrass fields, and we're now feeding out one of these a day to the heifers, just because, as you can tell, they've got a large area to run over. They're running over best part of 50 acres here, but as you can see, very little to eat. So we're feeding the bales. But what I thought I'd do today is we did briefly mention a couple of videos back. It's just spitting with rain. That's good news. We did briefly mention this bale unroller, and Dad has shown it again very briefly in a video a little while back when he was feeding out bales of hay to the milking cows out in the field. But we've had this a year now and it's never really appeared on a video. We've never shown how it works. So I thought today is the day. This machine makes its kind of first proper YouTube appearance after having been here a year. So anyway, there we are. It is a Wessex round bale unroller. So it's a very simple machine. You can tell it's half moon. You can tell where, you know, it's pretty obvious what happens with this machine. You put a round bale on here. There's a hydraulic motor under here that turns this chain, and the chain turns, the bale rolls, and it drops off. Whichever side you run it, it will drop off. You do quite often, obviously a round bale is only rolled one way when it's being made, so unless you know which way around you're putting it, it can come off of either side. So that, you know, hydraulic, you just push your lever the other way depending on which side it comes off. Some bales you need to unroll them a bit each way. It just depends how they come off. But anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to get a bale from the stack on the roller, go and feed it out, and just see how it works. It is pretty clever. One of the good things about the design, or one of the good things about this style of machine, they're all the same. They'll all do it. You can use it will load itself. So what we can do, we can pull this string here from the cab, that undoes this latch, then the bottom there, and then we drive forward. The unroller bit stays sat on the floor, and there's two bale spikes get exposed, so then we can spike our bale, hold it over the machine, unwrap it, put it down, and then just reverse in, click in, and you're away. It is very simple, no need for a loader. Kind of a self-contained, not exactly a self-loading machine, but it can load itself, so that's good. Right, so what we'll do firstly, get the fence down, get a bale picked up, and get loaded up. So first thing we need to do, pull our string here, and that will undo the catches and allow us to pull forwards, exposing a pair of bale spikes. There we are, ready to go and spike a bale. Obviously we are only able to spike the bottom row, but that doesn't really matter because the top one will just kind of come down all on its own. There he goes, he's down ready for tomorrow. So now all we need to do is unwrap the plastic in the normal manner. So there we go, that is a very tasty looking bale. It does smell very good. Quite dry, but you know, like we said, it was second cut from last year. And there is even some deep rooted herbs in it, look. We'll chuck that out. Right, so there we are, wrap is off. What we do now, we'll spike as low as we can, kind of get into the lower edge of the bale to give us plenty of lift height for when we're holding it over the machine. Then we can just unroll the wrap, ready for feeding out. So we'll spike as low as we can. Hopefully the wrap will stay behind. Not yet. There we go, it's come off. And we're now properly raining, that's good news. Okay, so we'll just back over the machine, lift up as high as we can. So these silage bales are easy to unwrap because we can take the wrap off and it pretty much, these particular bales don't lose their shape. For feeding out hay, it is a bit difficult because the bottom of the bale will fall away because these are good, tight, just the right moisture content bales. They stay round and it is very easy to unwrap these. Just like that. So the clever part of the machine is in here. So as we said earlier on, here is the hydraulic motor that drives it. Now on the end of the motor is just a simple kind of a cross, I don't know what you'd call that, like a cross piece. And then on the drive half of the machine is 4 drive pins. So all you've got to do is back in, and that will then line up with this. Okay, so it's nice and easy, it can't go wrong. You'll see in a minute how easy it is just to back in and click on, and hopefully you can see it's raining enough to make me want to run to get inside now. Ew, that's chucking it down. There we are, can you see that? Proper rain for a change. First time we've seen that in a little while. Don't know if the camera's showing it, but I can assure you, there it is, look, running off the window. It's properly raining. Hooray, about time. So once we're unwrapped, we'll just drop down. leave the bale on the chains. And then line up the spikes with the holes in the base. Click on, and there we are. And the drive is engaged over on the edge here, ready to feed out. So in my haste to escape that rain shower, I didn't put up the fence. Forgot to put the fence up. So let's put that up. The shower's heading that way. You can see it in the distance. But now we've got blue sky up there, so that's not very helpful. But we'll take everything we can get at the moment. Hope for more later on. So there's all the heifers up in the distance, heading towards us. So what I'll do, we'll just go a little bit closer. Make sure they're following. And then I will turn around, start feeding out the bale. So what I'll do, we'll just unroll it as we drive along, leave a nice long line. Plenty of room for everybody then to feed all at once. Yeah, and as the bale turns, it unrolls and drops off the side. And then halfway through, the bale will decide it wants to unroll the other way. It in a long line behind, and then they just come along and eat off the floor. So this is, like we said, so this is second cut from last year. As you can tell, much damper, better condition than the second cut we made this year, all from the same fields. So in the past, when we've fed cattle out in the field, you either use a round feeder or a feeder trailer. We've got one of those where you put your bales in. You can either take it out to the field or you can move it regularly because it's on wheels. We dispensed with all of that this year. We're feeding hay out to the dry cows and this silage out to these heifers with the same machine, with the bale unroller. So that the benefit of that is, like we've already said, for up here away on the rented ground, it will load itself, so there's no need for a loader. That's the major benefit of it. It's not really applicable this year, but because we can feed in a different place every day, you don't get any mess. If it was wet, that doesn't matter this year, but we can still spread it around a different place every day, not causing any compaction or poaching around a ring feeder. Yes, and it just keeps them happy. I think the farther it's spread, the happier they are. It gives them something to do. They've got to walk about a bit, look for it. They get more kind of area to mooch through. So it keeps them quiet all day. This bale will keep them quiet all day now until tomorrow morning when they get another one. So this field is pretty thistly at the minute. There's quite a few docks in it. In a normal year we would have topped that off by now. 2 reasons for not touching it this year. We don't want to waste any grass. Topping, you always take some grass off, which in a wet summer is fine because it will grow back quicker once it's topped. But we don't want to waste any grass this year. And equally as important, we don't want to go over this with a topper. Our flail topper, if you touch a stone with a flail topper, you'll get a spark. Although we are just starting to green up a little bit now, it's been too dry to risk having sparks in a dry field. You know, of a flail hitting a stone. Just a little spark is all it takes, and we could have an enormous mess. A fire, you know, things can start. You can top a field and there's something smouldering, you don't see it. And it could be gone in an hour after you've left, kind of thing. So yeah, no top in at all. We haven't even had the topper on. Might have done a little bit early on in the spring, but we certainly haven't done any in the summer. So yes, there we go. Right, anyway, so the heifers are all fine. These are all due to calve, or start to calve, early September onwards. So yeah, they don't need to come home for a month yet. They're happy enough where they are. So there we go. I want to say thank you very much for watching. A bit of a machinery and a bit of a cattle video all mixed into one. So there we go. I will say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.